guys, this is Jenni Calma with Paper Cardinal, and I'm going to share a quick card that I made for our birthday using some new things that I picked up after going to Creativation. First of all, I'm going to use this Waffle Flower tile panel die that I'm going to use over the top of a piece of card that I'm going to use Distress Oxide to blend some kind of more masculine colors onto. One of the things I'm super excited to show and use is this. It's the Water Media Mat from Waffle Flower. I was super lucky to get one at Creativation, and it is, I think just probably the coolest new product that I've seen in a long time. It's non-stick, waterproof, it's heat resistant, and it's like a Silpat sheet, that you would bake cookies on. You could put it in the oven. It's 100% silicone, and it's got these hash marks kind of to guide your YouTube video sized for it, and it's got these other little marks sized for if you were going to do a video for Instagram, and then these little wells off to the side to do paint mixing or to drop paint or shimmer powder or anything into. I'm really excited about it, and it's white, and I've had some problems lately with my glass media mat, which I love, but if I'm doing a small project like a card, the reflection has just been driving me crazy. So I'm super excited about this being white. It is not going to be available from Waffle Flower until I believe the end of March, but that's not too long away, and I don't know if you can pre-order them now, but it is game-changing. That's my opinion. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to use these Distress Oxides I've got off to the side, and this Wishes Word die from Fawn. And like I said, this is a birthday card, and I wanted to make it a little bit more masculine, so I picked these colors that I thought would be not quite springy, not quite, wintry, and definitely not Valentine's. I'm kind of, a little bit pinked out at this point, so it was kind of nice to change directions and go with something else. Now, I don't use all of these Oxide inks that I put out. I kind of just picked a lot that I thought would go together well, and obviously my card is not that big, or the die piece that is going to go over it isn't that big. So what I do use is the Fossilized Amber, Old Paper, Crushed Olive, Lucky Clover, and Cracked Pistachio. And I just use the Tim Holtz foam applicators to blend it on. And as you can see, it works great over that media mat. And this is a 5x7 piece of watercolor paper. It's from Strathmore. It's a cold press, I believe, and it's already pre-cut down to that size, which makes it real convenient. And obviously my card base is not going to be that big. It will be an A2 size card, but I thought it would be, it's an easy way to go ahead and start doing something, and then, size it down as I needed to. So I'm going to just keep blending here, and I keep the little, foam applicators for each one on the back of the on the back of each of the Oxide or the ink, pads, because I've got obviously more ink pads than I have foam applicators. The foam applicators almost sit in those little squares, not quite. They kind of wobbled around a bit, but that's kind of what I had used them right there. So I'm going to keep blending, and the Distress Oxide inks are wonderful to blend with. They're just creamy and easy, and I thought these colors looked really cool. It was kind of a different color palette than I'm used to using. I'm used to using a lot more brighter colors and more contrasting colors, and this was kind of like a little sort of yellow, green, olive, kind of rainbow-ish, if you will. I'm not sure why the color looks very gray, but it is not. It's the might be Modilon, but I think it's Lucky Clover, so I'm not sure what's up with the color. This is actually a new program that I'm using to edit with, and I've got new lights, and I'm trying to sort of upgrade everything a little bit at a time. And once I kind of get everything set and know what I'm doing a little bit more, I'm going to do a video kind of to show what I did, because I really spent a lot of time researching things that would, help me, and things that were time saving and budget friendly. And anyway, so I thought that might be helpful. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of water onto that background and let it sit for a minute while I kind of clean up a little bit of things here. And then I'll just dab it off with a paper towel. I'm not sure quite, it doesn't really oxidize as much as maybe it could, but it did give me some, a little bit of variation there. And most of it gets covered up anyway with the top of this this dye. So I just have some white cardstock. It's like it's just the cardstock I use sort of all the time. It's the Nina Classic Crest, I believe, and it's either 80 pound, or it might be 120 pound. I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that. 110 pound. But I cut it down enough to fit through my Big Shot. And so I'm just going to run that through real quick. And it's neat because it's got the sort of tile pattern, and then it's got stitched edging around the outside. And it's perfect, I think, for, something you're going to put over, another color or a bit different pattern paper or something like that. But I think it's great, especially for kind of a masculine look, something a little bit different. So I just plan to just keep it simple with white and the background there, and then I'm going to just die cut this Wishes out of some gold glitter paper. And actually that's a cardstock base that I'm going to use that actually I had a couple little mess ups on before, so I'm going to recycle that because it's the really good heavyweight Nina card base that I have. So while I'm off, I think, trying to find some glitter paper, there it is. This is an old Heidi Swapp glitter, sort of, I think it's an 8x8 pad of paper, and it's pretty thin, but it works great. And there's a bunch of different colors, but I use the white and the gold all the time, especially around the holidays. But I thought the gold would look good with these kind of colors of the yellows and greens. So I die cut that Wishes out, and then I'm going to take some of my fun foam, and it's a pretty thin foam, but what I've been doing lately, because it's been such a it's quicker, it's easier, and it saves a whole lot more foam tape, is to die cut the same dye out of the foam and just glue it to the back of it, especially something intricate like this where it would have a lot of glue. I'm notorious for adding too much adhesive, and I didn't want that to squish all out. And then you can easily do like 2 layers, 3 layers, and so that's been a real helpful thing, and something I'm gonna continue to do. Obviously, there's a great place for using foam adhesive, but this case, it's perfect for this. I just wanted a little bit of a pop-up and a little bit of a shadow, and so that fun foam is great. So I'm going to kind of just make sure I figure out where everything's going to be, and then I'm going to glue down. I'm going to zoom in a little bit there. Now the colors are starting to look a little bit more like they really did. It still looks a little bit more gray than it really does. I'm not quite sure. But I glue down, or adhere down my Distress Oxide piece there, or blended piece, and then I'm going to glue the fun foam to the back of the die cut piece of cardstock. And I'm going to use the liquid adhesive from Nuvo. It's Deluxe Adhesive, and I really like it because it is very strong, but it also has a pretty small nib on it. Now, I did have a little bit of a boo-boo on my last video, which my husband thought was funny, that I actually cut it out because it was really frustrating, and it was one of those days that just everything went wrong, and this was like the cherry on the cake of the wrong day. And I mean, when it happened, I just started laughing, like hysterically. But I was in the middle of filming, and I was almost at the end of this card, and I was using that Deluxe adhesive, and it kind of got stuck in there, and I was, you know, it was late at night, and I was frustrated, and I pushed too hard, and it popped the nozzle off the top, and glue went everywhere, all over my card that I had just finished, all over the project, all over my table. And I couldn't decide whether I was more upset that the glue was wasted or that the glue was all over my project. Somehow I ended up saving the project and actually just used some aqua shimmer over the glue spot so you can't really see it. So when, you know, all else fails, cover it up with a sticker or glitter or something else, sequins. So anyway, that was kind of funny, but it was not a fault of anybody else's but my own impatience and too much force. So while that piece is glued onto the blended piece, I'm going to pick out these gold sequins, and I kind of was worried that it might be getting a little bit too feminine because this is a masculine card, but I think it looked okay in the end. This is the Lawn Fawn glue pen, which I really like too. It has an extremely teeny nozzle on it, and it's just the perfect size to hold and use, and it works really great. That's going to be another kind of staple, I think. So I'm going to glue on the little dot on the eye there too. And then I'm going to use the glue again to, it's kind of like the smooth precision pen from Nuvo, but that one you kind of have to sort of tap out a little bit. This one you barely have to squeeze, and it just barely comes out enough. I haven't really had any luck with the applicator tips that you can put on glue, or that you put your glue into the applicator bottles, mostly because of exactly what happened in my last card. But this one works really well. So I'm going to use my Silhouette, it's like the pickup tool, and I just use it to pick up the sequin, pop down a little bit of that glue, and then I use the back side of that same pickup tool to stick the sequin down. That way nothing touches the sequin, like my sticky, dirty hands or anything gluey or messy that would get in the way. And once I'm done with that, that pretty much finishes it off. Put that back together, and that is pretty much it. You can see the close-ups here in a minute, and then the final card. Thanks so much for stopping by. I am really excited about trying to improve my channel and improve the quality and everything. If anybody has any feedback, I'd love to hear it. I really appreciate all the support and help that anybody has offered, and I will be back with another video very soon. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.